Okay, everyone's topic that we want to discuss for this time is about time management in project. Time project management in a project that we can develop and controlling the schedule. Okay, so there is a rationale for managing a schedule because uh, you need to plan the management schedule management. Okay. And of course, there are a lot of obstacles in or constraint impacting the schedule management. Okay, stakeholders are responsible for the different processes and documentation, right? And appropriate control threshold, triggering in an intervention, timing and format of a schedule report, and then processes required to update the schedule, and advising stakeholders of the different risk, quality, cost, and so on, with the implication for the schedule. So every adjustment of the risk, cost, and quality must be have some implication to from the schedule. And project management software for developing the schedule tools maybe can be used like WBS, Milestone, and Gantt chart. So by defining the project activities, we must define this properly to make sure that we can manage the time schedule. Okay, so that's why it must be very meaningful description, or else maybe we can plan for the schedule management properly. So that's this will affect to our time management. So in unique identifier, for example, what activity code WBS work breakdown schedule number. We can use a unique identifier to define project activities. Okay, and activity duration must clearly identify all logical relationship, for example, predecessor and successor. Okay, so from one to one activities must have a very logical relationship. Okay, provision for lead or lag time, and then resource requirement for every project activities must be described clearly, and then underlying assumption also uh, must be put under project activities, reference standards, and required resources. Okay. All of these items can be very useful to define the project activities. Okay. And from there we can go for the planning of schedule management. So we can estimate the activity duration through few of these point, predetermined, expert judgment, okay, analog group decision making, okay. And then estimating activity duration is very important for your record, to record your confidence level, to record how the calculation was determined, to record the broad, provisional, and or absolute nature, and also record all the underlying assumption and so on. So all of these points very important to uh, and show how the importance of estimating activities duration. For the table of 5.0, you can see the physical project, physical system, and human resources. So we must very clear about our resource capability, uh, and we must uh, arrange all that resource accordingly to our time management. Resource like the first one can see people, materials, funding, facilities, equipments, space, time, trainings. Maybe we need additional development, maybe required, and then new or technology required. Okay, this is just only review about this for the last week that I think we touched a little bit about this time management, resource metric, and then okay, to develop okay, estimating duration activities, we can use this kind of techniques, experimenting with sequence. Finish start relationship activities will start from when is activities have a finish. So there are four experimenting with the sequence that we can see clearly with this. Okay, finish start relationship, and then finish to finish relationship. Okay, start to start relationship, and start to finish. Okay, lead and lag time. And this one for network diagram. Okay, this one very familiar with project management tools, the Gantt chart. So the task that must start on time for the project to finish on time. So no delay allowed. So longest pass throughout the project schedule. One pass take 4 days. The other pass take 6 days. So 6 days is the critical path. So the tasks they are driving the schedule and date of the project. Okay, the path with zero float. Float is the amount of time a task can move without delaying the project. Okay, as I explained before in last class, I think the resource constraint critical path is known as a critical chain, right? And take into account the fact of resource allocation, right? And then derived from theory of constraint that the critical chain has a resource focus, whereas the critical path has a time focus, right? And this is a critical focus, and then critical path, okay, more to time focus. Okay, we can control the schedule with baselines, current schedule, how many percent of extension, and then how many percent of performance complete. Okay. All of this bar must be very clear for every project manager to control their progress and control the schedule of project management. Okay, so we look and jump into our new topic that we want to continue for today. So it is very common for every project manager to evaluate the success of their project based on the profit and loss. Okay, because it is very simple and obvious indicator to estimate or to evaluate, to assess the value of that project and the success or failure of that project. Okay. So for next topic that we want to discuss about the cost management relates so much about the success of project management. So while we plan for the cost management, of course, we need to look at a few of these points. As you can see from here, the source of funds, the source of fund in business strategy will be learned if you have a chance to make a further reading in business strategy textbook. You can see and find there are a lot of more in-depth discussion about how that um, top management can allocate or can collect a fund to make sure that they make a right decision, which one that they can use in order to run their business or certain project. Okay, the same goes to this project management. The source of fund is very important for project manager to decide which kind of source of fund that they want to select, because it will come with cost. Every fund that you collect is come with a cost, what we call as the cost of the fund. Okay, cost of the fund. Okay, and then while we plan for the cost management, of course we need a detail of the reporting format. Detail of the reporting format, frequency and distribution. Okay, internal organizational finance protocol and the accounting system to avoid any misconduct, any fraud, especially that's involved any breach of law in locals law or international law. Okay, identification of percentage variation threshold, triggering action, and then provision of contingency funding, right, and then approval procedures, accepted level of accuracy in determining realistic cost estimates. Okay, and the non-unit of measure defined for each resource. So from these points, we can clearly define the cost of our funding. And then degree of precision required, specified performance measurement technique, right? So this is a guideline from PM books, so 2013, on how that we can estimate our project costs. Of course, we will come with our project proposal, and then our work background structure and contractual conditions. Okay, it's depend on what kind of project that you manage. Project schedule reflecting the plan, activity sequencing, chart of account, right? Required quality standard and special condition. If we need to produce any kind of service, we need to know what is the minimum or quality standard that accepted with our customers, especially, okay, or our stakeholders. And then if we are looking for producing a project that can produce a product or goods, of course we need to know, okay, what kind of required quality of standard that we must achieve, okay. And any maybe special condition, special condition, for example, in maybe if you are looking for producing goods, their wrapping techniques or wrappings description maybe must be there. For example, if you are marketing your product in a certain country in Europe, that is very strict rule and compulsory to put uh, clearly suitable for vegetarian or not, for example, or nut allergy advice, okay. So that's a special condition. Maybe you can need to take note and remember. And then assets register reflecting whole of life costing, costs associated with mitigating risk exposure. So if you have a chance to study in finance or accounting, I think this is very clear, and I think you can get more understanding on classification of costs, fixed or variable costs, direct or indirect costs, recurring or non-recurring costs, regular or expedited costs, internal or external costs, lease or purchase, labor or material estimates or reserve. All of this classification of costs, we must uh, justify in our proposal or project management planning. So again, you can see some of this point quite maybe familiar with our previous topic, estimating techniques. So it's or maybe sums. For example, the first point, predetermine. Uh, this technique also used in our previous topic, right? And in order for us to estimate the technique, cost estimation technique can also be used as a predetermined, uh, not only in one topics. Maybe you can use this cost estimating techniques. Expert judgment, analog group decision making, unit rates. Okay, some of them similar with our previous topic. Okay, there are some rules of budget in cost management. So I don't think that's we need to go one by one of this point, but we need to really remember about the role of budget in cost management, of course, to make sure that we still in the right track, still in the follow in the right tracks, right? We must make sure that we in the line to our objective to make our project success. By end of the day, okay, we make sure that our project must be success, and every source that we need to make sure that our project success is involved cost, and that's why we need to manage properly our costs. Okay, we can manage or plan our budgets through a few approaches, and these are a few approach budgets. Maybe you can choose anyone that's thinks very helpful and suitable for us in our projects. Uh, Traditional, the previous year's level of performance is the foundation for the next year's figures, right? So just in case that for the last year, we know that our budget is 1 million. So after for this year, for the coming years, we know that we want to increase our revenue and our production in maybe more to double. So that we need to prepare the budget up to 2 million. Okay, and then zero base, this ignore previous result, right? This kind of approach try to ignore previous result as each activity and outlay is justified. So each activity is recorded with zero spending to begin with, right? And then programs, activities are grouped together for projecting costs. This one maybe suitable for a project that's offer a service, and then top down based on pooling the knowledge of senior managers and past result. And then some bottom up, okay, individual task budget are estimated in detail by people directly responsible for doing or managing the work. This bottom up quite widely applicable in civil project, because we need to estimate in details every single quantity that we want to prepare. Right, this time phase. Okay, time phase budget. And one tool or technique that we can use in cost management or budget management, time phase budgeting. Okay, phase in phase design, phase construct, and total and cumulative. This time phase budget. So any number of valid reasons could explain the variances, okay, including original estimate not being revised, changes in market, and maybe vendor prices. Okay. So any changes that we put in the budget or an inaccuracy that's happened in the budget actually can be happen because of these variances, tasks requiring rework, okay, especially for civil work. If our worker fail or maybe make a mistake to fix or to do their job, we need to rework. So this can increase the budget. And the cost differential between replacement resources higher than expected as inspection and testing costs, revision to the specification, okay, reschedule work outside normal work hour. All of these point can becomes a contributor to uh, a few inaccuracy in our budgets. So you can see some of ingredients in project budget can be a budget cost, estimation techniques, okay, confidence level, assumption, constraint, contingency reserve. So how much that contingency reserve that we can prepare, percent of work completes, actual cost, percent of actual cost. So value in project management, here you can see value is a measure of performance, I mean progress in terms of scope, eh, schedule and budget metric. Okay. Scope, schedule and budget metric, right? Progress and performance are measured. Progress and performance are measured in cost, not in unit of time. Assess and control again these three independent variables. So you can calculate value through this few of terms. Okay, obtain value, the estimated cost of the scheduled work, earn value, the value of the work performed to that date, indicating what amount of the budget has been earned, and then actual cost, the invoice cost incurring in performing the completed work to date. Okay. And you can see a relationship between these three, yeah, clearly in this figure, yeah, plan value, earn value and cost, actual cost. Okay, this is a relationship between cost schedule and cost variance. Example of calculation, increasing the earned value analysis. All of this we use initial, plan value, earn value, actual value. And this is show us about the schedule and cost performance index. Schedule and cost performance index. Supposed to bring up a bit. Okay, if something happen during the project management implementation or execution, you can see the cost of change exceeding original cost, the crashing the schedule, normal duration, expected schedule duration originally agreed, and then crash duration revised. Okay, uh, time nominated, a normal cost, the agreed cost for the original schedule duration, crash cost, the revised cost to resource, the schedule compression. Okay, okay, is area of cost of change. Okay, I think that's why I want to share for today. Okay, uh, did short video for you to get a few idea about what we are trying to discuss for today. Right? Hopefully that you get something out of this. So have a nice day, nice weekend. Thank you very much.